Chalk 3. We've lost contact. You have an eye on the target. Over.
So in order to push through the hints faster, I've decided to put 2 hints at the beginning of every video from now on. Last time on Let's Play Prototype...
Well, I can tell you all you need to know about Penn Station. Zeus is down. Bring in the containment device.
And now for the continuation.
Man, you look like shit, but this might help.
McMullen?
No, but they're watching someone for him. Okay, it's this doctor named Bradley Ragland.
Where is he?
Whoa. He's a good guy. Okay, you find him, he helps us get to McMullen. He's uptown at St. Paul's Hospital. He runs the morgue there. Wait, hold up. There's more. Alright, so I did some research on Hope, Idaho. It was an army town. On July 21st, 1969, it vanishes from the map. The official word was that it was an anti-government gun nut standoff. Some militia killed a bunch of people, and the feds killed the militia. Now, there was only one survivor. Notice a girl, second from the left?
Elizabeth Green.
Who looks an awful lot like a college student these days. Not bad for 55 years old.
Hope Idaho was an experiment.
How could you possibly know that?
The people I've killed, they're in me. I can hear them, see the things they've done.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I can understand it all. I'm supposed to do these things, but it's right. I can feel it.
Find Ragland. And ask him about McMullen.
My back. Feels like it's beating on me.
Welcome back, everyone, to Let's Play Prototype. And as you can see, now we have a friend on our shoulder. The Parasite, because we've been injected from Captain Cross. It makes all of our powers useless, except for our movement abilities and our regular combat, so we can still get around fairly well. Let's just get a closer look onto this thing because, well, it's not a great effect, but at least it's something. I just wish it was more consistent between cutscene and here. It's also pointy, which is weird. Well, we better not waste any more time, so let's make our way over to the morgue in St. Paul's Hospital. And actually, on the way there, driving around in a tank, ever wanted to know what the models inside of the cars looked like? Well, here is a wonderful example of the heartless, soulless look of the models. I just want someone to love me. Alright. We haven't been here very often, except for collecting landmarks, but now it's our new mission hub. So we can go back here for the next couple of missions with Dr. Ragland. Now, before we start this mission, of course, let's go into our upgrades menu. Because secretly and silently, after that cutscene, which is actually technically a mission on its own, Confessions, you get a new list of upgrades. Now, of course, we don't have any power, so Street Sweeper I'm not going to be getting. But we have a lot more combat abilities and hand-to-hand business. So let's see. Also, we get some upgrades in terms of vehicle and weaponry and disguise. And I've actually went ahead and acquired those for myself because I wanted to add more variety for the next mission, because a lot of the variety has actually been stripped away, which meant that I had to go into military bases outside of doing the consume events. There was really only one particular upgrade that I was looking for, but since it didn't come up first, well, I decided to get all of them and just get it out of the way. Increasing missile launcher effectiveness, better tank control, and finally it's time to upgrade our artillery strikes a little bit more. Now we can carry 2 instead of 1. So that I find that the capacity for artillery strikes is more valuable than making them more powerful. Just in my opinion. This was the one I was looking for though, helicopter control. This is the earliest that you're able to get it, which is my favorite word in the entire game, skyjacking. So instead of hijacking tanks all the time, now we can skyjack helicopters, and oh, the fun that ensues when you do that. To me, it's kind of weird how easy it is to still consume base guys stealthily. I usually don't have any problems with it. Now there is one final upgrade that I just decided to get in order to round it out. And that, of course, is better helicopter control. Because now we're able to skyjack them, let's make them a bit better in terms of ammo. So with that out of the way, let's go and get 3 more upgrades under combat. Now it's kind of weird because not a lot of these abilities are going to be helpful with this next mission. Flying elbow drop is just something I might as well get right now because, well, I don't really use it much. It's not very effective, and to be honest, it's kind of slow to use. We also have a new category down here, attacks, which involves a lot of combos. Now, I really just decided, hey, let's not waste any more time and get body surf right now, because body surf is just the most fun you will ever have with an ability. Don't stop moving with the body surf. We'll be showing that off soon enough. And the last one I decided to get was another one that I don't really use very much, Palm Slam. Mostly it's used to get another Devastator later on, but Palm Slam is the equivalent of a Force Push. And I really can't, simplify that down any further. You'll see it soon enough. But getting the Palm Slam actually makes Cannonball available, but we won't be getting that until the next list, of course. So let's take a look at these upgrades that we got. First, the Flying Elbow Drop, which involves you running up a building roughly halfway through and then hitting the heavy attack. It makes you do wonderful wrestling moves, and Body Surf is probably the best thing you could ever have in this game, ever. In terms of actually cheat codes, there's only one cheat code in the game, and that is to get Body Surf as, immediately. Combining Body Surf and Flip Kick Launcher as well, just as you're ending Body Surf, you just fling the body into the air. And lastly, Palm Slam. Palm Slam is a bit of an annoyance in order to pull off, though, because it involves like the opposite buttons, the left and right buttons of the face button, and of course, like I said, it's a force push. Not really that effective, but luckily we're near a hospital and medical college. It can get some needed medical attention. Now let's get started with the mission.
Structures in the parietal lobe resembling parasitic infection.
Dr. Raglan?
Already said I won't deal with you people. My medical opinion's not for sale.
I'm impressed.
What is it you want exactly?
Your help stopping the virus.
Why?
You could say I'm symptomatic. So pick a side.
I'll tell you what I know. But first, we need to find where the military has Patient Zero.
Okay, the bodies from the first outbreak are the key. Blackwatch Spectres took them. Find the Spectres, find the bodies. Maybe I can find some answers.
So at this point, the story is kind of picking at straws. Last time when Captain Cross mentioned, like, just literally mentioned Penn Station, just the name. And we're kind of assuming that Penn Station has something to do with the beginning of the outbreak. And if you don't know what Patient Zero means, it means the first person that was infected with the virus. We gotta look for that person, wherever that may be. Also, like I said before, the difference between our wonderful parasite on our back changes weirdly. It looked like a meat pack on the back there. Now, this mission is one part stealth and one part complete devastation of everything around you. So let's start with stealth. How about? Stealth is usually how I like taking this part of the mission, simply because it's easier and cleaner. Now, you can see that we have 4 different targets that we have to get to. We only have to get to 1, and we have to consume that commander, so technically that person is the same person 4 times, if you want to think about it that way. The first objective is getting a weapon. Any weapon will actually do, even this assault rifle, because we're looking for one specific target in order to take down to make this a lot easier. And that is the UAV that is circling around above each patrol. Now, of course, a better weapon than the assault rifle will work better because it'll take it down easier. Of course, UAVs being the bane of my existence, I just want to get them down anyway. I don't really care. So now that the UAV is down, they won't detect us when we get down there. So let's briskly slide down the wall and then get into the tank undetected.
Captain Lim. At East Trooper, get on the horn and tell them we've secured the Penn Station bodies. I'm taking the heavy armor to destroy a hive. Get control points up in this area, then rendezvous with us at Gentech.
Yes, sir.
I need to find Lim.
Captain Lim just became a person of interest in order to find those bodies. So let's go find him. And because I keep forgetting to do this, here is First Lieutenant Steven Varish on the Web of Intrigue.
How do you catch the attention of an officer? You start killing all his men.
So let's start by killing all his men in the easiest way possible, which is just hopping into a tank and silently killing the tank. This is the easiest way of doing anything in this mission, but it doesn't last for long because, well, the UAVs are all around this area, and when they catch you, all hell breaks loose because there's tons of missiles everywhere. Specifically on these two buildings outside of the Gentech building, because, well, ugh. Also, these tanks are kind of superpowered, so throwing cars and other things at the tanks don't do as much damage as you would like them to do. And also, it doesn't help that I haven't really bought anything survival-wise since getting the critical mass ability. So let us skyjack. Skyjacking simply involves getting close enough and then rapidly hitting the throw button, or the circle button. We'll go into more detail about flying helicopters later when they actually come up as important with main missions, but right now let's just say that helicopters make this a lot easier. Kind of. The problem with that is that missiles kind of home onto you, so chances are you're gonna have a lot of destroyed helicopters on yourself. Doesn't help that we're right near a hive too. We're in complete military infected territory where everything will kill you horribly. Yeah, that was bound to happen. So let's try this again, but take a different approach.
How do you catch the attention of an officer? You start killing all his men.
Finally, let's get into using artillery strikes. Using artillery strikes is very simple. Be undetected, be in a military disguise, open up your side menu there, and hit 4, or the top face button. You also have to remain undetected, too, if you want to just keep repeating using artillery strikes as well, because once they alert you, you're not able to use artillery strikes anymore, because they know you are not part of the military. Really, the reason why I don't use artillery strikes enough is because they're not really effective for what I'm trying to take down. Like, they don't do a lot of damage to tanks and the like. And of course, when you start using artillery strikes, you get this wonderful message popped up. They are also few and far between, so after you finish a mission, you have to go and find specific people in order to consume to get your artillery strikes back. And that's kind of a put down for using them. Technically, artillery strikes are really only useful against just regular infantry and infected and whatnot. In terms of tanks, especially these tanks, they don't do as much and are not really that helpful. No. Bad UAV. Bad. Now, using the tanks against them is a good alternative for taking down things, but really, let's get the most out of using helicopters, really. So helicopters have 3 different types of ammo. They have the regular machine gun bullets, they have the missiles, and then they have homing missiles. They don't have a lot of homing missiles, though. Now here is the big, awesome thing about skyjacking when you have multiple helicopters around. Stark teams are perfect examples for this. When you have multiple helicopters around and yours is about to explode, and there's a helicopter close enough to you that you can get to it, You just get out of the helicopter, lock onto it, flying kick or whatever onto it, and hijack it. It's a great feeling of just like adrenaline when you're trying to get this and you get a good chain going. And you can get really high in altitude in terms of how good you are at skyjacking. And let's try and get rid of these tanks while there's not a lot of people around.
Captain Lim to 10-12. Grid shows we just lost the hard point. I'm reassigning additional support to your position. Don't make me come down there. Boy, over.
Unfortunately, that wasn't enough to coax Lim out, so we gotta do it a couple more times. Fortunately, locating him turned into draw him here because everything has gone to crap. Now you can also use unmanned helicopters as another kind of ammunition, but it's not really that helpful. Because you have to be really lucky with your aim in terms of actually making the explosion do anything.
God damn it! Fire 2 and 4! Move up! Lim out! Hit it again. Over.
Time for Wave 3. Now you can actually see that up top in the buildings, the missile launcher guys keep showing up again, and really that's the main issue I have with this mission. Is that you can get destroyed really quickly by missiles in this one because they're everywhere. Luckily you're around a hive, and the interesting thing about the hive is that I tried taking it down in order to take down the infected portion of the enemy's way, but as far as I know, I wasn't able to take it down, which is odd. Why would they make a hive invincible? Maybe I wasn't just good enough. UAV, you ruined my chain! Now this mission, as you can see, is incredibly hectic. Oh man, is there a ton of stuff going on and a lot of action and a lot of movement that requires a lot of stuff on your part. Which is really good. Which is great. Especially after the slump that stopped after the Captain Cross fight. Now we can get into just the high impact stuff. This mission is really hard, actually. Especially when you have no powers and you have to rely on a very specific amount of options that you have. Most people when doing this mission are going to go for the easy route, which is, of course, going into each tank individually and take them down silently like that. Which is honestly the best way of doing it, but if you're wanting to throw a bit of more variety in there, hopefully you have skyjacking and hopefully you're good at using weapons and dodging a lot. Now, I also want to talk about the last cutscene that we had, or specifically Confessions, with Dana, making Alex a completely unlikable person. And now, finally, we get to the last bit of this mission, because Captain Lim is upon us. We need to get to him, and at this point in the mission, oh man, I wanted to just get this over with. There is a lot of times that I died here, so you'll get to see those at the end. We have to get to that tank over there. I thought this was the tank, and that makes me very nervous. Especially when that can happen. Like, missiles just take a chunk of your health away. There we go. If I don't get blasted off of this tank, the mission is over. And there we have it. Lim, you are mine.
Sir, Director McMullen surrendered the bodies to a civilian.
Ragland?
Yes, sir.
You did the right thing, son. Your new orders are this. Recover all samples, bodies, and evidence from Dr. Ragland. Bring them to base AE-1.
Ragland?
If he doesn't interfere, leave him be. He's already implicated. He won't talk.
And McMullen, sir.
It's time for the doctor to learn who's in charge of this little excursion.
And there we have it. The mission is over. Oh, and look at those statistics. Yes, they just kept rising, especially after the last event, Irony. Now you can see a lot of internal conflict with the military and the research teams with McMullen and Randall. And now we know where the bodies are. So next mission, we can hopefully head over to base AE-1 and learn something about the patients and find patient 0. And Alex is, of course, an unlikable person now, according to the last scene with Dana, because he just... It's a really bad cutscene. I'm supposed to do these things, but it's right. I can feel... You're killing people! Needlessly. But that's enough for me. So I'll see you next time, everyone, as we go over to base AE-1.
It was perfect. They used Karen to get to me. Used the genetic material I'd collected to make a weapon to try and take me out. By the time I discovered she was working for Blackwatch, she was gone. But I had a bigger problem. A weaponized cancer was eating me from the inside out. I needed a doctor, okay? A special kind of doctor. I needed Ragland.
How did it feel to be infected with something you couldn't control?
Like, my own body wanted me dead.
Did you ever consider how the parasite felt? An intelligent cancer ripped from its host.
Yeah, I did. Once. Right before I killed it.
Cafe.